Hello guys and welcome to Volokinproject. It's Tony here, your favorite YouTuber. Today I'm going to do a review of the cheapest foldable phone money can buy. And I'm talking about the ZTE Libero Flip, also known as the ZTE Nubia Flip, over here in Europe, guys. Now, what's the difference about this device? Well, the RAM and mainly the price, guys. Over here in Europe you're talking about 300 to 500 pounds for this device. In Japan 130. How can you buy this? How do you import it and what's inside the box? I have a separate video which you can check on my channel if you're interested in that. So I'm going to do this review for the reason of this phone being just 130 pounds, guys. So the expectations should be quite low, guys, being the cheapest foldable on the market. Now, the first thing that you're gonna need for a foldable phone is, of course, a good case. AliExpress, here we go. iMac is the name of the case. Really nice transparent case, guys. It doesn't add too much bulk to the phone itself, and it is of really nice plastic quality, very easy to take away. Let me show you. This one goes like that, and this one you just have to do it. Let me see, how do we do that? This one over here like that, this one like that, and pretty much that is it. And it reveals the absolute beauty of this device, guys. Now, this phone is really good looking. Have a look. You have a proper OLED screen, 1.43 inches, something like that. You have the dual camera setup over here with the flash. Really nice back cover. This is the blue version. It's really blinky when you take it outside under the sun. At the back you still have this plastic material which is not going to crack, guys, which is definitely a positive. The NFC is over here, and overall aluminum build, very nice and sturdy hinge design over here, guys. I really can't complain about the design and build quality of this phone. I'm really impressed. This screen rotates from pretty much any angle, especially you can use it for a camera. But I'm going to show this a little bit later on the camera section, guys. But before, let's have a look at what. Since we're already here, one thing is missing, of course, is a headphone jack. I will never stop complaining about removing the headphone jack, but there we go. We have stereo speakers. One speaker is over here, guys. The other speaker is over here. Unfortunately, the quality it's not very good, guys. It is relatively loud. It's a relatively good quality, but it is worse than pretty much anything else that I have heard in terms of stereo setup. It gets the job done, but I'm not very impressed, guys. The other thing that I'm not very impressed is the situation with the fingerprint and the face unlock, guys. Now, the face unlock does not work properly on this device. The fingerprint is really nice. It's a little bit difficult to find. If you don't have the case, it's a little bit difficult to find because it's absolutely flush of the design of the phone like this. But once you kind of get used to it, check this out, guys. The fingerprint reader reads your finger 100% of the time. It is really fast. It is really reliable. So I can't really complain about that. One thing I'm going to have to complain is the face unlock. Check this out, guys. Verify your face, and of course this time is going to unlock it just fine. But usually what the situation is, if you don't use your hand, if you use your hand to open up the phone like that, check this out. Tap the icon to verify your face. Now, why do I have to do that? I have turned off all of these options in the menu, and you still have to tap over here, and it's still struggling to verify the face. And if you have glasses or anything like that, it takes ages. So face unlock really not good. And also, if you want to operate with the screen over here, have a look at that face unlock. There we go. It took a couple of seconds to unlock. Now, what can you do on the outer screen over here? You can swipe down to check your notifications. It's a little bit clumsy. You can't really open the notifications fully over here. The phone is telling you to open up the whole screen, the full screen, so it's not very convenient. However, you can use the camera. You can use weather over here just to check. If you're in your car, you can play your music over here, step count, stopwatches, stuff like that, record audio, and pretty much that is it, guys. So kind of usable. Of course, you can change the wallpaper and stuff like that. What I'm really impressed with is the quality of the inside screen, guys. 6.9 inch. The resolution is higher than 1080p but lower than 4K, somewhere in between. and I'm really happy with this screen, guys. 6.9 inches, as I said previously. Sunlight visibility, no issues whatsoever. The colors really pop, guys. I'm really not sure whether that's because foldable phones don't have the normal glass screen protection on top. Keep in mind that you have a very thin layer of plastic screen protector over here. You can't see it on the camera, but I've got a couple of scratches already. Pretty much anything harder than your fingernail, even if your fingernail can damage the screen, guys. And also, I always have an anxiety with the folding phones where if there's some sort of crap and you close the screen, it is going to defect the screen after that and damage it, guys. If you open up eBay and you put foldable phones for spares, there are so many, especially the Galaxy phones, so many with broken screens. It's absolutely unbelievable, guys, because even the tiny particle of something, when you fold it like this, it is going to crack the screen. Now over here, this mechanism works fairly well. There is no kind of satisfying click sound or anything like that. Of course it does that, but it's not like the Motorola devices. For example, it's not that I'm complaining, but it's something that I have noticed. It definitely works alright. But folding the screen like this over here, guys, always give me some sort of anxiety over here. And check this out. You can definitely see, let me see for myself, you can see kind of behind the screen what's happening over here when you're folding it like that. So no, you can't actually. Check this out. This piece of plastic over here kind of covers the gap so things don't go inside. Okay, clever design over here. But the issue with foldable screens like that is it's a matter of when it is going to break and not if it's going to break, because it will break. But at the end of the day, you've paid only £130 for this phone, so you shouldn't care that much. So I would say if you're looking for an entry-level, folding phone, just to train yourself to be more careful and stuff like that, you can start from here. However, you should know that there are a couple of deal breakers about this device. Now, the SIM slot offers only one slot for physical SIM card and one for eSIM. So you have the two IME numbers over here, but one is for the eSIM, one is for the physical. So you have two physical SIM cards. This is not going to work for you guys, unfortunately. The other thing about updates is because this is a Japanese device, you need to put a Japanese SIM card in order to get Android 14, guys. There is no other way around it. Simple as that. Even if the SIM card is old and not active, it wants a Japanese SIM card. The VPN is not going to work. Now, in terms of storage, only 128 gigs, and as you can see, I have only 4 gigabytes free, and I don't have nothing on this phone, guys. I've been using it for 2 weeks. I don't have much stuff. I have a couple of photos, a couple of videos, but 128 is really not enough nowadays. Now, the SoC inside is Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 SoC, which is supposed to be a low power SoC, and I have a couple of issues with it. Let's talk about the battery life first. So 4000, actually let me open up this application. Where is that application? Very handy application, device info hardware over here, guys. You go to the, let me see, battery, and check this out. I have charged the battery only 20 times of this particular device, so 4180 milliamp hours of battery. Now the charging time, full charge 55 minutes, but for half an hour you get 73%, which I'm very happy with. What I'm not happy with is the battery life itself. I'll put a couple of screenshots on the screen over here, but we are talking about 4 hours of battery life in 120 Hz and 4.5 hours in 90 Hz, guys, which is an absolute deal breaker for me. I cannot work with 4 hours of screen on time, guys. It is just really not enough for me. So what's the issue with the battery? Well, and with the performance. Now, when the phone is set up to 120 Hz, it misbehaves, it overheats, it just doesn't run right, guys. And there are many situations where sometimes, for example, you open up the screen and the phone runs super sluggish. I've noticed that, especially if the battery life, well, the battery itself is under 30%, let's say 20 something percent. You open up the phone, you slide open like this, and it just it loads up like this, and it runs absolutely terrible. Now, of course, in front of the camera is going to run fine, but sometimes you lock the phone, you unlock it, and boom, suddenly it's fixed, which is a very, very weird behavior, guys. It's just, it lacks some optimization. There's something going on, but guess what? There are no further updates. They released the Nubia Flip 2, which is essentially a very similar phone, but with a newer version of Android, guys. And the situation with the performance is so bad that sometimes I'm driving in my car. If you put the phone to charge and if you want to use it, there's a big chance of it overheating. I have a screenshot somewhere. I'm gonna try to put it on the screen. But this phone overheats in day-to-day usage when you use the GPS, when you use the Bluetooth. And guess what happened? I put the GPS on, I was having a conversation over the phone, over the Bluetooth. The phone overheated, it popped the message, it turned off Bluetooth and GPS. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening here? But unfortunately, guys, if you want to charge the phone, use the 120 Hz, that's not gonna happen. You have to sacrifice something. You have to keep the phone charged at all times. You have to use the 90 Hz screen. You can't use the 120 Hz. So just because they didn't optimize it or they let something happening, but seriously, guys, there are issues with the performance. And for example, you go to the Play Store, you want to update your 20 something applications, the phone becomes sluggish, it becomes super slow. You cannot, it takes too much time for simple things like installation. And also RAM management. Oh my god, with 6 gigabytes of RAM, guys, with 6 gigabytes of RAM, sometimes I ended up in a situation where I need to pay for something online and I need the confirmation from my bank app, and I got the notification. I press on the bank app, I press approve, and when I go back to the to the website, it's reloaded and pretty much my payment doesn't go through and I have to do it all over again, which is absolutely ridiculous, guys. You can literally do only one thing at the time with this particular device, which I am really, really not happy with it, guys. I'm not a superpower user, but come on, this is absolutely unacceptable. Now, when we talk about the bugs and other issues, sometimes the phone gets confused and you try to open it, you try to, open the fingerprint over here and you get a white screen over here and you're like, wait a minute, what's happening? And nothing is on the screen, and after that, when you lock it, boom, you're inside the phone and you're like, okay, wait a minute. But anyways, moving on, guys. Well, this issues that phones used to have 10 years ago, but nowadays everyone got it sorted, even Motorola. Yoo-hoo! But yeah, now it's time, guys. It's time to address the next elephant in the room, which is the camera situation over here. And at the front we have a 16 megapixel OmniVision sensor. I have to check my cheat sheet over here, guys, to let you know which exactly it is. So OmniVision OV16A1Q, a 2019 sensor, guys. Can you imagine? Can you absolutely imagine, guys? And the phone takes selfies and they do not look good. They look like interpolated 8 megapixel selfies, to be honest with you, but there is a saving grace: the main camera, guys. You can actually use the main camera to take selfies with this device. How do you do that? Well, you wait for the phone to recognize your face eventually. You go to the camera over here, guys. Hello. And what you can do is, just press on the screen. After that, smile, and the phone takes a photo. You open up the screen, you press on the photo, and there you go. However, the default orientation, you cannot change it, guys. If you want to take a photo in a landscape mode, it's a little bit cumbersome. You have to go, wait for the phone to unlock. You have to go over here and you have to rotate the phone in this direction, guys. And now when you press, boom, there you go. So this photo is going to be in the correct, wait a second, there we go, now it's in landscape. Now, one issue and one bug that I managed to find out is, let's say you have already opened up the phone and you want to use the camera shortcut over here. It brings a message to unlock the screen, guys, and when you try to unlock the screen with the fingerprint, check this out. It takes a quick photo, boom, and after that it locks the screen again, and you're like, wait a minute. So there is an option, guys. Let me show you over here. There is an option. Where is it? More settings for, check this out, fingerprint capture. But that is not the point. You you shouldn't get this message for locking the screen and essentially not being able to take a photo. So what I'm saying is that the camera app is really not optimized properly. And also for some reason, when you take photos, when you take, when the screen is closed, when you use this camera, there is no stabilization whatsoever on the videos. So the results are pretty poor. Let's have a quick look. And now let's have a look at the front camera, 1080p maximum video resolution with stabilization on. If we run, we get a result like that. All right. And now we can actually use the small circle screen to take a video as we go. We just have to hold the phone at a weird angle. So when we run, we get a result like that. There we go. And now one other issue that I found with this particular device is, guys, the coating. As you can see over here, the cameras, they look a little bit purple simply because they've put some weird coating and it is not the proper carrot size coating over here. This is some cheap coating, and unfortunately when the sun shines directly into the camera, you're having issues, you're having halo effects, you're having artifacts. You don't want to be doing that. And at the back of the device, well, actually this is the back of the device, you've noticed that there are two cameras. One is a 2 megapixel sensor, guys, 2 megapixel depth sensor. So pretty much is for aesthetics only. It doesn't do absolutely anything, guys. And the good news, well, at least kind of good news, is the 50 megapixel Samsung sensor over here, guys, which a couple of cheap phones are actually using. And let's have a quick look, guys. Let's have a quick look at the camera over here. So we are talking about Samsung 50 megapixel S5KJN1 sensor over here, guys. And there are some good news and some bad news about this sensor. The good news is in excellent working, in daylight, in good lighting situations, you can take some impressive photos with a lot of detail for this camera, guys. I was really impressed. You can see a couple of examples over here on the screen, guys, but the issue is that sometimes you have to take a photo in not so much ideal scenario. You have to take a photo in a room or anything like that, and noise creeps up pretty much immediately. And also if you're taking photos to sell some things online like phones or whatever, you take your eBay shots, they do not look good, guys. So the 2x zoom that the phone offers in the application, really it is not good, guys. And one other thing which is not good is there's supposed to be stabilization, but it's pretty bad. Let's have a quick example over here. Okay, guys, so testing the video capabilities of the Libero Flip. A quick run over here. Let's test the stabilization to see how it works. All right. Okay, so the camera situation overall, guys, on this device, unfortunately, it's kind of, for a cheap phone, it's kind of okay. You can take some good photos with the main cameras, not in low light. Of course, the video is pretty bad, and you can take some impressive selfies, but with the main camera and not with the actual selfie camera, guys. And one thing that I almost forgot to mention is the gaming experience of this device, guys. Now, let's talk about the gaming experience quickly. I always run 3D Mark, and what this application is going to show us is that, check this out, guys, the phone does not overheat at all, and the stability is 98.9%. Check this out, guys. Pretty much for all of the 20 minutes that the application was running, the phone was super stable while gaming. And check this out, guys, battery drain only 8%, temperature went to 43 degrees, which is fine, which indicates that you're not going to have issues with the gaming experience, and that's kind of half true. For example, Request, I'm going to show you very quickly, guys. I was very surprised that you can actually run this game on this particular device, simply because some flagships are struggling with this game, and considering it's running on all the Android 14 version, I was actually surprised that you can run this game without overheating, without any issues. The only thing is that the graphic quality, you can't run everything on high, simply because that's a mid-range chipset, but I honestly didn't expect, guys, this game to be playable at all on this particular device. And as you can see, the loading times are fair. So pretty much there are no issues with gaming with Wreckfest. Check this out, guys. I was actually really surprised. And this is one of the games, by the way, a battery saver is on, so it's gonna look a little bit choppier than expected, but you have to trust me on this. This game runs absolutely fine. Now the other game that I usually play, guys, is, let me show you, is this one over here, Call of Duty. Of course, everyone knows Call of Duty. Now, last time I've played it, it was downloading some stuff and I stopped it, so most probably I'm not gonna have the time to show you the gameplay, but it runs absolutely smooth, guys, in terms of frame rates and everything. However, it makes the phone overheat, guys. Over here in this area here where the screen is, and over here it makes the phone run absolutely hot, and when you're gaming you can even feel it. On the left side of the screen is hot and the right side is cool, which is really not a nice feeling. So you can't really you know, play this game properly, unfortunately. So gaming, yes, some games you know, run fine. Other games, although they run fine, they make the phone overheat. So definitely not a gaming device, guys. And as I mentioned before, you know, sometimes the updates take forever on this device, but yeah, that's the reality of the gaming, guys. So yeah, it's conclusion time, guys. The ZTE Libero Flip, at least the Japanese version of this device, yes, it is 130 pounds. Yes, it's the cheapest foldable on the market. Yes, the screen itself is very easily repairable compared to other foldable phones. But the performance, there's definitely major issues with it, RAM management issues, and massive you know, battery drain, and overall not a good battery life, guys. So unfortunately, for a power user like me, I cannot recommend this device. For kids, I'm not sure that this device is appropriate because they're going to break the screen. My son was absolutely fascinated with the you know, with the outer screen over here. He took a couple of shots. It was very interesting for him, but I just can't risk it, guys, with this device. And the thing is, I have a constant anxiety when I'm closing the screen. I always have to wipe it down like this just in case there's something over here. And considering you don't have the glass, the phone is always dirty. The phone, the screen itself is always greasy from your fingerprints because of the plastic coating, guys. And the thing is, in quite a few situations, I found myself just not folding the phone at all, guys, and just using it like this, which is the wrong way of using it because the screen is not protected. So overall, as you can see, flip phones are really not my thing. And although, you know, I can definitely live with one, I cannot live with 4 hours of battery life in 2025, guys. So yeah, what I would say is skip this one. Don't buy it. Buy yourself a regular phone, or you know, if you're rich, get yourself a Samsung and a pretty good warranty for it, because you're gonna need it. If you open up eBay, it's full of you know, broken phones with broken screens all over the place. So yeah, it's a matter of when rather than a matter of if the screen will break. So yeah, that was it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Adios.